I'm Kirk Anderson, and welcome back to the shop. This week's video is upgrading my table saw fence. Now, many of you may know that I started setting up this new shop about 10 months ago. And the first thing that I did was I got a new table saw. And overall, I'm very pleased with the table saw. But what I'm not pleased with is the fence that came with it. The fence that came with the table saw, most of it is made out of aluminum. The rails, the fence itself. And the fence has grooves in it. Now these grooves could be good if you want to attach things like a sacrificial fence or something like that. But they also get in the way in certain applications. Like if you're trying to cut a piece that has a beveled edge on it, the beveled edge can just slide right up into the groove. And then the locking mechanism itself did not operate very smoothly. Also, the fence didn't move smoothly. Now, good rule of thumb when adjusting a fence, you don't want more than 5/1000th of an inch error between one end to the other. And no matter how I adjusted this fence, I could never get that under about 6/1000th of an inch. So my solution was to get a new fence. So I went and I got a Shop Fox classic fence with standard rails. Now I will say this, it was shipped and the package came in relatively good condition. Now I will also say this, the box was quite heavy. If you have another person, it would be advisable to use two-person lift on this. Then when I opened it up, it was packed quite nicely. There was a lot of styrofoam in there that protected the pieces. So it took a minute to unpack it, and then there's all the pieces for the new fence. And all the rails and the fence itself is made out of steel. Now the first thing to do is take off the old fence rails. Now the new fence did not line up with any of the current holes on the tabletop. So I had to drill new holes for the new fence. Now it did take a minute to drill the holes, but drilling through cast iron is not that difficult and you don't need any special equipment. Then once the holes were drilled, it was just a matter of putting on the new rails. And then I used a fence adjustment jig to check to make sure that the fence was in alignment with the miter slots. And it was off a little bit. Now the adjustments for the new fence are just like the old fence. But the adjustment screws themselves were actually smoother than the old fence, and I was able to get this fence within about 3/1000th of an inch. And the next thing I did put the tape measure on there, and then I made a cut to see how close I came. And I was about 1/16th of an inch off. Now most fence you can adjust this real easy. Just unscrew the indicator and then move it over to where it needs to go. And then secure the indicator back down. Once I made the adjustments, I made another cut at 5 inches. And I was smack right on 5 inches. Well, that's it. This new fence is installed and ready for operation. And the few cuts that I've made so far, boy am I pleased with it. Now give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And as always, all you woodworkers out there, just get out there and cut some wood.